Here are Diddy's twin daughters talking about how they will not be attending college after high school. These two are a senior currently, and you would not think that their father is currently incarcerated against these charges because they are acting like nothing has happened.
Hey beautiful people, how you all doing today? It's your girl Destiny here and welcome to my channel. How have you all been? Hope you guys are doing great. So today's video is about the Diddy twins, the Combs twins. So there's this creator Soland that creates content on trending news, popular topics and all that. He wanted to make a video calling out the Combs twins for going for their prom. So during the week, it was being showed that the Combs girls went for their prom, and a lot of people were having the conversation that why are the twins, that means Diddy twins, why are they going for prom when their dad is fighting for his life, is on trial for a lot of terrible things. And this creator went on to talk about how the girls, because the twins did a live while they were getting ready, talking about how they're not going to go to college, they're just going to dive into business and all that. And he went on to talk about why would they want to go to college? Why do they think business is he would have advised they go to college, and that's why throwing shade on why are they still wearing similar clothes at their big age. But this has struck a bigger conversation that has gotten people talking of how Diddy's children should respond and react to the entire allegation and the trial of their father, if they should have stayed quiet and not show themselves and just be indoors rather than going for prom, or they did nothing wrong going out for prom. So let's go check out the video that struck this conversation, people's response, and then we'll come back and talk more.
Like the college that you're committed to. Since Jesse and I are not going to college, we're going to be wearing one of our brand hoodies. Yeah. Because we are repping that we will be business owners.
Here are Diddy's twin daughters talking about how they will not be attending college after high school. These two are a senior currently, and you would not think that their father is currently incarcerated against these charges because they are acting like nothing has happened. Also, I think it's interesting they're not going to college. They're going to assume the role as business owners, which no shade to them, but you know, a business degree might help. Maybe even one of you guys becoming a lawyer could maybe help the family out. I don't know how they do it. I mean, I feel like I wouldn't be able to show my face, but these two are out and about. They went to their college prom wearing the same dress, which, you know, we love twins that dress alike. I did see some shady posts on Lipstick Alley where people were calling out the fact that they always wear the same clothing, which, you know, is cute if you're a twin and you're like 6 years old. I don't know. You would think maybe growing up they would start to separate a little bit, but they're not. Honestly, I pray for these girls because of what their mother had gone through and the current situation with their father. I feel like they could use some prayers. I don't know, something does irk me a little bit with how they are just so nonchalant. Like, they truly do not care. I want to hear what you guys think in the comments below and follow me for more.
What you're wearing, like why they're coming online living their life like nothing is happening. Like, what do you want them to do? I don't understand why there's like a certain creator and people like who are just kind of like bullying them. What do you guys want them to do? They are 17. I don't even think they turned 18, so they are teenagers and they are experiencing very tragic situations. Their dad going to jail, their mom passing away. I think right now they are, I don't know if they're residing with family or friends. Like, this is traumatic for them. So if they are coming online, you know, behaving like nothing is happening, trying to act like normal, I feel like people should just respect that, because at the end of the day, again, they are children, they are young. Like, I don't know what you expect them to do in this circumstance. Like, this is the sense of their father.
There's a creator on here, YT man named Saloon, Sloan, made a video talking about the Combs twins. He said they acting like they don't care about what's going on because they're making a video about them graduating high school and not deciding to go to college but starting their own businesses because they can. My thing is this: they are minors. Do you not know, sir, that they lost their mother, their mom? They're finishing one of the most memorable, monumental moments in their life without a mom to hold, support, and cherish and love them, and sitting in a courtroom watching their dad go through one of the hardest times in his life. While the internet is not only bashing their dad, but now trying to bash them for doing what? being teenagers, what are they going to speak about, sir? What are they going to talk about? Are they going to talk about the case? Because I'm pretty sure the attorneys has already told them, if you see slander about your dad, I don't care how egregious things may be, please do not comment because you can incriminate your dad or bring harm to the case. Let these little girls be little girls and live their life, because that's what they are. They're children and not adults.
While Sloan is not the only person being hypercritical of how the Combs twins are moving, what they're doing and what they're not doing in light of their father's trial, I'm very curious as to what he and others like him want these girls to do. How do you expect them to move? We live in a culture of suffering, and not only do we live in a culture of suffering, we live in a pile-on culture where we want to see people punished for entertainment, public punishment, rebukement, and suffering. So these two 18-year-old girls who have lost their mother and now their father is essentially on a trial fighting for his freedom and possibly his life if he is put in jail for the rest of his life or prison for the rest of his life. What do you want these 18-year-old girls to do? Do you want them to disappear from the internet forever? Do you want them to get on the internet and cry and apologize on their father's behalf? I'm genuinely curious as to what people expect from these girls.
How they do it. I mean, I feel like I wouldn't be able to show my face, but these two are out and about. They went to their college prom wearing the same dress, which, we love twins that dress alike. I did see some shady posts on Lipstick Alley where people were calling out the fact that they always wear the same clothing, which, is cute if you're a twin. And
I think Sloan makes really good content, but I think this is a miss for the simple fact that we can't condemn children for the crimes of their parents, right? These are like really young girls too. So they were probably so oblivious to the things that their dad was even doing. He was probably hiding a lot of that stuff from them. Is their life supposed to just stop now because of the heinous things that their dad did? Maybe it's a little bit distasteful to be out acting like it didn't happen. But when you're young, that's how you cope, right? I don't think it's okay to bully these young girls and be shady and say all of these things about them just because things that their dad did. What's going on with Diddy is going to have everlasting effects on these girls' lives, and piling up on the internet doesn't help it at all.
Jesse and I are not going to college. We're going to be wearing one of our brand hoodies. Yeah. Because we are repping that we will be business owners.
Here are Diddy's twin daughters talking about how they will not be attending college after high school. These two are a senior currently, and you would not think that their father is currently incarcerated against these charges because they are acting like nothing has happened.
I mean, should they get online and talk about the case? Should they get online and cry? The Diddy trial is horrific, and I, like all of you, have many an opinion, but it just doesn't make sense to berate or have takes on the way Diddy's teenage daughters are behaving. Unless they were doing something crazy, and even then, to some extent, it'd probably still be understandable, given the circumstance. So, I'm not sure what you're expecting from them. Not only are they completely unable to talk about the details of a current court case, so I'm unsure what you're expecting from them, but they've lost their mother and have had to hear endless conversation and conspiracy theories surrounding their currently losing their father and are hearing and witnessing vileness, of course of his own doing, surrounding that. I mean, should they be trapped in the house, suffering the consequences of their father's behavior? What do you want? I'm just confused. He then goes on to say, it's as if they don't even care, and I'm just like, you don't know these people. And these videos that are very clearly creating a narrative to send hate toward teenage girls are very weird. And obvious disclaimer, because people aren't very good at thinking, I don't know the Combs twins either. That's why I didn't assume anything about their opinions on anything in my video. This video isn't commentary on them or the Diddy trial. It's simply commentary on how weird videos like that are.
Be business owners.
Here are Diddy's twin daughters talking about how they will not be attending college after high school. These two are a senior currently, and you would not think that their father is currently incarcerated against these charges because they are acting like nothing has happened.
I'm stitching Denisha's video because I love her commentary, and I'm going to take it even further. This adultification of black girls is really just racism, because not just people online, actual media outlets are trying to imply that they're doing something wrong by living their lives, holding these children to a higher standard than they hold white women celebrities who choose to be associated with men who do wrong. So this is from a couple days ago in People magazine. Diddy's twin daughters attend prom amid their dad's sex trafficking trial. What the devil does that have to do with anything? But remember when Taylor's ex, Matt Healy, gave the Smotsy salute? all the girlies and all the media outlets were crying out, oh, it's just her boyfriend. She can't control her boyfriend. She can choose who to be associated with. And she is an adult woman. But they acted like she was an innocent child. And it was the same thing with Sandra Bullock. Her husband was caught engaging in all sorts of smutty activity. She had the unparalleled nerve to then adopt a black child as a PR measure. And when black people tried to hold her accountable for this, white people screamed and shouted, she's a different person from her husband. Oh, well, just because he's an obvious white supremacist and they've been married for 10 years, it doesn't mean anything about her character. But you have the nerve to try to imply that these black children are somehow responsible for the victimization of black women because they are being children and living their lives. It's the nonsense for me. And again, I'll go even further and talk about what the heart of this is about. You don't like to see black girls living soft lives. Diddy is a monster, and you can come for him all day, every day. But this virtue signal of trying to say, oh my God, they're going to prom while their father's on trial. Oh my God, they're talking about the businesses that they're starting or how they're choosing not to go to college and focus on their entrepreneurship. Well, their dad, his ill-gotten money is probably somehow entangled in whatever. The only reason you're saying this about them is because it's the only thing you can say. You're angry that they are living soft lives, that they're probably millionaires, and that they're going to be living a costed existence. You want to see black women and children and struggle and misery and pain, and it makes you uncomfortable when you see them doing well. But you can't say that. So instead, you run to virtue signal something that seems acceptable. Oh, well, with all that's going on, like their mother when they were children. If you want to talk about them in connection with their father's trial, why don't you say the horrors they might have been exposed to, the things that they might have seen, witnessed, or even experienced? Not that you should be speculating on that either, but that would be the normal thing to think. Oh my God, children under that roof, what have they not been through? But you don't care about that because you don't care about the innocence or the pain of black children. All you care about is having a gotcha moment so you can wag your finger at them. Everything they do is wrong. You were mad when the Obama girls were going to private school, even though Chelsea Clinton also went to private school. It's always a virtue signal. Oh, well, it doesn't display confidence in public school, and that's the wrong statement for a Democratic leader to make. Another white Democratic president did it, and it was fine. And then when Malia got into Harvard, they were mad, and then she chose to take a gap year, and they were extra mad. Because you expect us to be grateful down on our hands and knees for the opportunity to go to a school like that, even though she's a legacy. And a lot of the same discourse that surrounds Jesse and Delilah Combs surrounds Blue Ivy. If it's not, she shouldn't be in public because of what her dad's accused of. Then it's, she's too young to be performing. So let me get this straight. When black girls do well in exclusive educational opportunities like private school or getting into the Ivies, you have a problem with it. When black girls choose not to go to college and focus on their entrepreneurship, you have a problem with it. When they achieve in sports as children, like Serena and Venus Williams, Gabby Douglas and Simone Biles, you have a problem with it because you try to humiliate them and berate them as children. When they're entertainers like Blue Ivy, but they're protected when they're working under their parents' auspices, you have a problem with it. The only time you don't have any criticism to offer of black girls and women is when they're being exploited. When somebody else is making money off of them. You didn't have tickety-boo to say when Sky Jackson or Keke Palmer were starring on those shows as little children. Nothing to say to protect them from being exploited. Years later, Foxy Brown and Little Kim have talked about how when they were teenage girls, when they were children, how the adult men of the industry were exploiting them. And we could see the same thing in the careers of Aaliyah, TLC, the list goes on and on. This has been heavily documented. Y'all quiet as a god doggone mouse when that's happening. But when you see black women and girls profiting, controlling their experience, being in charge of their lives, or benefiting from nepotism, let's just say it, you all of a sudden have all the problems and find all the issues. Why don't you shut up? And I'll just say what you're too cowardly to say. You like to see black women and girls suffering. Okay, you like to see them down on their knees, serving you or entertaining you. And you are bothered when they are not. That is your stuff, but I'm not going to let it pass unchallenged. You need to check yourself because this is nothing but virulent racism. That's it. Like and follow for more.
Well, so let me know what you think about this discourse down in the comment section. Do you think that the twins should have gone for their prom and they should probably be more sober, that their father did all these horrible things? Or you think that Salon does not have any right to talk about these kids and all that? So go down and share your thoughts. But please, as always, keep it respectful. Here on this channel, we're allowed to disagree, but we'll do it in a very respectful way. So go ahead, feel free and share your thoughts, okay? We're just here to have conversation. We don't tussle here, okay? So for me personally, like everybody has said, the truth is that these are kids. We can't hold them for the actions of their father. And the truth is that sometimes kids may be with their parents and all that and show support to the public for the parents, but deep down they have spoken up, or they've had that, but they don't have to show it in public. And to understand that these children are less than 18 years old, why wouldn't they go for their prom when probably that's something they've looked forward to all their lives, and now because something they didn't have control, something they didn't have a part in, something they were not a participant of it, they were never mentioned in it. The only reason why they go to court is to go show up for their father, support for their father. Then because of that, they should not live their life. Even Diddy will want them to go on and live their life, because why would they be paying for the crime of their fathers? Like why should they do that? And for the creator that did the video, I just feel like he came off on a very bad taste, because why are you even speaking on the actions of children at this point? Like, why are you trying to hold children responsible for their, like, why are you doing that? For me, that's such a weird behavior, especially when these children are not indirectly harming anybody or cursing anybody out. Like, why are you pushing a narrative out there? And it's not just him, like even other media outlets carried like, oh, the Combs twins are out there going for prom. Why their father goes? Okay, what do people really expect them to do? Like sit down, cry, be walking around with a sad face? One thing I've come to realize in life is that this life is very, very short. And whatever anybody do, you can support them and still go on and live your best life. You can support them and still go on and live your best life. If Diddy is sentenced to jail, everybody will still go. Everybody will move on. So I just feel like it was a bad taste to come for the girls. Let children be children. And if you're going to have conversations like this, I just feel like, I know Diddy like, we all know Diddy is a horrible, horrible, horrible person. But you see the children, let them be. And the fact that a lot of things that happened to these girls, like a lot, even in fact, some of the content about their parents, their mom, their dad, and the programs have empowered themselves, I will block the internet and just really ignore them and just focus on myself. And I feel like that's what both of them are doing. And then trying to throw shade at them that they are twins and they wear, what's it called? Okay, they are living their life. Like, how does that affect you that they decide to wear, they are almost 18 and they are wearing the same clothes? Okay. And who still thinks that Lipstick Alley still exists? I never knew that website still exists. I'm a Reddit girl now, but who knows that website exists? Anyway, guys, go down in the comment section, share your thoughts. Love to know what you think. Share this video with somebody that you want to be part of the conversation, because that's what we do here. We have banging conversation. So go on and share this video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, smash the like button, because this helps YouTube to push out my content for more people to see, and that'll be supporting this channel and this girl. So go on and do that. Subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you guys in my next video. See.